Welcome back to my channel, guys. In this video we'll learn how to make a welt pocket, a single welt pocket. A welt pocket is the kind of pocket you see on jackets, blazers and suits. So in this video I'll show you a very easy and beginners friendly way to make one. Here is the back, looking nice, and I'm going to show you how to neatly make this just as the one I made here. So if it's something you want to learn, let's get into the video. So here I have a piece of fabric that I have. This is the fabric I'm using that I cut out, and I iron an interfacing on it. I'll take you through the measurement and the markings that I have there. So the length of this piece of fabric is 8 inches from the top to the bottom, as you can see, and the width is 6.5, right? Now for this rectangle, from the top part to the first line is 1.25. okay, so from the top part to the first line that I marked is 1.25. okay, and then for these ends I have 1 inch from the ends to the straight line there. So on both ends is 1 inch away. Then for the rectangle, the length of the rectangle is 0.6, and I got the midpoint of 0.6 and I marked a straight line, which is this at the middle. Okay, so the upper parts, the length is 0.6 like I'm showing you, and I got a straight line in between 0.6. okay, so this side is 1 inch and this side is 1.25, right? So now I'm going to get where I want my pocket to be on my jacket or my blazer, which I've already, this is one of the front panels. I've joined the darts, so I'm going to get the length. This is the lapel. I'm going to get the length, so I'm going to measure from my shoulder down, and I'll place my tape on my shoulder, as you can see, and I'll measure 20 inches. That is where I want the length of my welt pocket to be. You can do 18, 19, 20, depending on the height of the person. I'm going to be doing 20 inches. I think 20 inches is fine. So I have 20 inches there. That's where I want it to be, and I'm going to mark it. Okay, just get 20 inches, just mark it with my chalk like this. And then I forgot to tell you that the width of my pocket is 4.5. okay, so from one end of the rectangle to the other end of the rectangle is 7.5, which is the width of my pocket. So 4.5, I'm sorry, 4.5. So on my dart, I want my welt pocket to be in between my dart, so I'm just going to get the midpoint of 4.5, which is good. It's supposed to be, it's 2.25, and I'll just mark 2.25 on both sides of my dart. I want my pocket to be at the mid, my dart to be at the middle, right? So on your dart you're going to mark half of 4.5, that is 2.25 on each side of the dart that I have there. So I have 4.5 here, as you can see. Okay, I shared it 2.25. Now what I want to do is I want to match this middle part I have on my rectangle to this part I marked on my jacket. Okay, so I'm going to do this with the help of my pin. So I will make sure that the width is also matching up. That is the 4.5 on my pocket and on my shirt is matching up. I will just use my pin and pierce through it and also match it up to my shirt, as you can see. So what I'm trying to do mainly is to match up the middle point of the rectangle I have on my pocket to the line I have on my jacket, as you can see. Okay, so this is going to be easier. It's easier to do it this way so that everything matches up, so that you have a straight pocket. Okay, so I've matched it up. Can you see? I make sure that the middle part, that middle line there, is matching up with the line that I have on my jacket. I also use my pin to hold down the top and the bottom part so that everything is just in place. You're going to make everything stay in place. Now after pinning it down, I'll take it to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew the rectangle round. Okay, I'm sewing just the rectangle, the rectangular shape. I'm not sewing the middle one. No, I'm not sewing it, just the rectangle. Now I've done that. Let me bring it closer. Can you see my stitch? Although it's white, and then this is the back. Well, and I forgot to tell you that of course we are matching this pocket front facing front. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is to mark an arc on this end like this, like a triangle. Now this is going to help me make this pocket lay flat because I will be notching that end. So make an arc more like a triangular shape like this on both ends, and then I'm going to cut through the middle part. First I'll use my razor and make a hole. Okay, take your time to do this so that you don't make a mistake. Use your razor, make a hole, and then I'm going to use my scissors and cut through the middle like this. And when I get to that rectangular thing I marked, I'm going to follow that shape, cut through it like this, just notch it, more like you're notching. Okay, notch it, don't cut through your seam, but make sure it's really close to the seam. Notch the other parts and you get this triangle looking thing. You do the same thing for the other side. I'm going to notch that shape that I have there. And then I have this tiny little triangle there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to push this pocket to the wrong side. Remember we placed it on the right side, right facing right. Remember, then I'll push it to push everything, all those excess, to the wrong side. Okay, and if you notch that arc really well, you're not going to have any bulginess. It's just going to lay well even before you iron it. That is the size. Okay, now that I've put everything well, look at the hole we have there. I'll go ahead and iron this down so that everything lays flat. Now after ironing, this is what we have. Now I want to create that single welt. So what I'm going to do now is to get this down part of my pocket and I'll push it a little bit, just the pocket, push it a little bit to cover that hole. Now you're not going to cover everything, it's just going to match up with that upper one. Okay, the points are just going to like kind of kiss each other or meet each other. So this is what we are trying to do, just match it to the upper parts like this. Okay, don't cover the whole of the pocket, just match it up with that upper part. And then this is what we have. I'm going to also iron this to lay flat. Once I am done ironing, this is what I have. Can you see? Okay, this is the back. Now I'll go ahead and pin the sides down. Just hold it down with a pin, and if you watch closely, I'm working with just a pocket. I'm not even touching my jacket. Okay, so hold it down with a pin, and then I'm going to flip it to the right side so you see what we have. Okay, can you see? Just iron the front side as well, and this is what we have. Okay, it's not totally covered, they just match each other. So this is what we're trying to achieve. Now when I open up the size of this, you're going to see that little triangle that we have there. Okay, what I want to do is to hold it together with my pocket. I'm going to take to my sewing machine and stitch it very closely with the pocket. Okay, stitch it closely, don't stitch on the main jacket or the main fabric, just the pocket, stitch it closely. I also do the same thing on this other side. That little triangle, you're just going to stitch it like this. Okay, so I will take to my sewing machine now, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. Now this is what I have. I'm going to stitch this together with the pockets. Make sure you back stitch. You want everything to just stay in place and not loosen. Okay, so stitch that tiny little triangle with the pocket piece, and this is what I have. I've stitched it just closely to the end, to the edge there. I also do the same thing for the other side. Okay, so I'll backstitch as well, and then cut off my dress, and here is what I have. We're done with that. So now that we are done stitching the triangle, the notch that was stitched there, I'll take off my pins, and then I'll measure what is left of my pockets. Okay, so from the top parts I have the length 6.5 and width 6.5, and I'll cut another piece of fabric measuring 6.5 by length and 6.5 by width. I'll use it to cover that to create my pockets. So you're going to place it front facing front, and then you're going to stitch round by 1/2 inch, and you're just stitching on the pockets. You're not touching your fabric or your jacket, just stitch on the 2 piece of pockets. So I'm going to sew it with 1/2 inch round, and then we're done. I'm done sewing. Here is what I have. The pocket is ready, and here is the front part looking very neat and nice. This is very easy, and I hope you give it a try. Thank you so much guys for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more videos. See you in my next one.